Why not 13 cows and 1 bull? Why not 13 sheep and 1 ram? Why take along 7 males and 7 females of the clean animals? I don't know, maybe God wanted these animals to be monogamous. But no animal breeder would be stupid enough to make that kind of investment if he wanted to begin a cattle breeding industry. But anyway, getting back to what I started to say, Dr. Holbein, I'm going to suggest that you take a cow and a bull, and in 20 years you come up with a sheep. Or you take a ewe and you take a ram, and in 20 years you come up with a cow. Those of you who are saying amen to all of these things that he's presenting to you, you need to understand exactly what he's saying. One bovine kind, or that is, it would be 14 bovine kind were taken aboard the ark. And from that we get goats, we get sheep, we get bison, we get buffalo, we get all of the bovines today. And all of that happened within 5,000 years. Someone came up to me during the break and asked me a question that relates to this, and so I'm going to introduce it here. If Noah's family were the only humans who survived the flood, then how do we explain the racial variety that exists on the earth today? Are we to believe that that happened within the space of just 5,000 years? That the black races in Africa developed, the Asian races developed, the Caucasian races developed, the brown races of North and South America, that all of these developed within the space of 5,000 years. If he's not careful, he's going to talk himself out of the job, because he tours the country speaking about creation science. And I say again, there isn't an evolutionist on the face of the earth who would stand before you and say that diversity like that could happen that rapidly. Well, he wanted to know if humans today could build a pyramid. He doesn't seem to think that we could do it. Well, I have a lot more confidence in modern man than he does. Pyramids aren't being built today because we don't see any need for them. There was probably a religious purpose behind them at that time. Has anyone tried to build a pyramid? And after all, Dr. Holbein, the largest pyramids in the world were not built in Egypt. They were built in Central America. And scientists will tell you, and I know that what scientists will tell you doesn't necessarily mean anything to most of you, but scientists will tell you that most of the settlers in this country came to this country after the flood, and it would have had to have happened that way, wouldn't it, Dr. Holbein? Wouldn't it have to have happened that way? And yet they built the largest pyramids that the world has ever known. And I'm just sure that if a reputable construction company set itself to the task and actually wanted to do it, that it could build a pyramid. That in no way explains the 300-foot limit to seaworthy wooden vessels. That's a specter that's hanging over him, and it's a specter that will hang over him the rest of his career if he continues to go about preaching this stuff. And do you know how he handled it? He said exactly what I expected that he would say. Well, God could enable this to be done. And I see or heard a few amens then, but I must tell you again, that is not scientific. You accuse me of making assumptions, but I just wrote down a list of assumptions that he's given to us during his speeches. There was an assumption that a canopy of water was above the earth. There's no scientific proof at all for that. There is an assumption on his part that the earth was level and the mountains rose after the flood. Where is his evidence? Where is his proof for that? He has said that people were smarter back then than they are today. Looked like we would find some archaeological evidence for that. Noah lived 350 years after the flood, and creationists like to refer to this as reasons why civilization was able to develop so rapidly after the flood. And yet the primary contribution that Noah made to the world, building the most amazing boat that was ever built, vanished completely. And according to archaeological studies, civilizations after the flood sailed in dinghies compared to what the ark was. And I see that my time is up, and I want to thank you for the attention that you've given me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Till. I've had a difficult job up here. I don't know how much of the last second round I have heard, but I have been sorting through these questions, and I want to say tonight I have done my best to be as objective and fair as I can here. They are good questions. I wish we had time to get to each and every one of them, but we simply do not. Here is the format for the third round of question and answer. We will direct a question to one of our gentlemen up here tonight and give them 3 minutes exactly to respond. And once again, please hold any statements, any outbursts, so to speak, so that they can get through, because it is a short time. And then the other individual will have 1 minute of rebuttal. And then we will reverse the order, 3 minutes to the other gentleman and 1 minute of rebuttal to the other. We'll begin tonight with Dr. Holben, since Mr. Till just gave his 20-minute rebuttal. Here's the first question this evening. And it's interesting, I had this one picked out as Mr. Till just brought it up. Dr. Holben, how did the various races of people, Negro, Oriental, Native American, scientifically be brought out of one family if the flood destroyed all?
Okay, good question. That, of course, is assuming the genetic isolation that we have today. A group of white people could not probably produce a black person today, given any amount of time. But if we don't know the genetic makeup that Noah and his family had, may have been a combination of all of these races. What was the original race? What color was Noah? You'd have to assume he's white or black or one of the others, but if he had the genetic combination of all the races, there's an incredible amount of variation available in the genes. Ask any family with 8 or 10 kids if any of the kids are identical. They'll all be different. All the 600 people in this room tonight are very different. So diversity is the way of life. And I think you would have to assume, in order to think that it could not happen, you'd have to assume that Noah was either